yet another fantastic session at BYJU'S Champions. I'm Aishwarya, and today's session is one of my favorite sessions that we're going to do, which is on antibiotics and vaccines. I can see that a lot of you are here already. Good evening, Smita. Lakshmi says, good evening, scientist ma'am. I'm glad you liked the thumbnail, Lakshmi. Yes. Hi, Ankur. Hi, Ritika. Hi, Sneha. Hi, Gungun. Papya. Harsimran is there. I can see Sneha, Simran. Hello. Hi, Nikhil. Good evening. Hi, Anika. How are all of you today? How was school? Did you all have to go to school today? How was your day altogether? Did you enjoy today? Yes. Hi, Anahita. Yes. Hello. Hi, Anushri. Yes, today no mentee is there. Very sorry, but we'll have it soon. I am amazing, Harsimran. Very excited for today's class. Yes, like I told you, it's one of my favorite topics that is there. Hi, Kanakaraju. Sorry, I missed your name. Yes, all right. Okay. Yes, hi, Agya, Roshni. Yes, I can see Pratibha here. Good evening, Joel. How was all your day? Harsimran says her vacations are going on. Yes, okay. Then I think, Harsimran, you would have had a nice day at home, right? Gungun is very excited, and today at school, okay, you had a test on crop production. How was it, Smita? Yes, all right. Gungun says I'm perfectly audible and visible and clear. Yes, thank you so much, Gungun, for that. Okay, all right. So we'll wait 2-3 more minutes because I know that a lot of you more should be here, right? Today we usually have a big number of students. So tell your friends to come join, share the link with them, tell them that we're going to have a very interesting class today. Oh, that is amazing, Sneha. You've got full marks in crop production. That makes me very, very happy. You have no idea. Yes, all right. Okay, I can see Pratibha's vacation is going on. Anushri schools is going to open in only in July. All right. So Sonali, I may not be able to read fast in Hindi, so please do talk to me. Let's talk all in English. Yes, can we all communicate through English? Yes, all right. Okay. So now, of course, as you can see, our class today is going to be on vaccines and antibiotics, and I hope everybody is here. Then, of course, a quick check on, I hope that my audio, my video, and my screen and what I am writing on the screen is visible to everybody. If it is, please do let me know in the chat and show me how excited all of you are. Yes? Okay. All right, I can see that everything is all perfect. Yes. So I want all of you to have your notebooks and pen with you as well, because this particular topic, trust me, is such an interesting topic, and I hope that you write it down. And yes, there'll be a lot of excitement to know more and more about it, right? But again, due to interest of time and of course to make sure that you know, with respect to your chapter, that is microorganisms, friends and foe, we will restrict ourselves here and there, but if you want to know more, you can always let me know in the comment section. Yes? Okay, all right. Yes, so I hope that Papya, I can see Papya is already telling me, I have a billion doubts about diseases. Yes, Papya, I am ready for those. Yes, Ritika, I do remember you. Yes, failure is nothing but a stepping stone to your success. Very positive note, Sonali. And hi, Yashasvi. And on the note, right, that Sonali spoke about, right, that failures are nothing but stepping stone of success. And of course, that hard work always pays off. We'll get started with today's class. Yes? So now, of course, for those of you who are very new to the class, we have a Telegram channel for the 6th to 8th, and I understand that right now you are still very small to be joining a social media platform. So I would always recommend that you request your parents to join on your behalf so that you can get all the session notes, PDFs, updates, questions, and so much more, right? Yes, Papya, we are going to get started. Yes? Now, of course, yesterday's class was on the beneficial microbes in the food industry. And we had a homework question as well, right? So how many of you have given me the answer for this? Why does dough rise during bread making? Because you can let me know. Yes, please tell the answer, Akansha. We're just getting to that, right? Very good. Yes, let's all focus on the class, everyone, right? Yes, Ananya, very soon we'll be getting to that. Very soon. Yes, I can see that a lot of you have given the answer to this. Yes? Because we know that while preparing dough for bread, we add yeast, right? And when we add yeast, we see that due to the process of fermentation, carbon dioxide is given out as a byproduct, right? And we know that this carbon dioxide, being gaseous in nature, will try to escape out from the dough. And as a result, it results in the risening of dough. Yes? All right, very good. So it's important that you have these two keywords, right? That carbon dioxide is being produced and it's a result of fermentation, and this results in the risening of dough. Manu, I have missed your question, so please do let me know. It's important that we stay focused to what we're talking about in class, right? Yes, all right. So in this case, of course, I do understand that due to some technical difficulties, because I did check some of the comments yesterday in the night, and I saw that some of the comments have gone missing because I could see that a lot of you have told me that you've written the answer. So I may not be calling out some of the names, and I'm very sorry about that because I think some of the comments were not there on YouTube when I checked it today, right? Yes, all right. So as you can see, I've got the answer from Simran, Utkarsh, Joydeep, Anahita, Akansh, Sciencefly, Prisha, Ritika, Gungun, and Anika. Yes, no, Nagendra, you're not late. We are just getting started with today's class. Hi, Shweta, welcome to the class. Not a problem, Papya, you can go back and give me the answer. And Palak, you can also give me the answer. Yes, very good, Nancy, very good. Yes, all right. Yes, Simran, I do understand. That's what I told you. I think I missed out on some names because there's been a glitch where some of the comments are not coming, and we're looking into that, right? So that is important. Yes, I don't know. We're figuring it out from our end as well, but you know that I have already had a look, but I did not write down the names. I should have written down, but it's okay. I know that all of you have written, right? All right, okay. Yes, so now of course in today's class we are going to be dealing with two very important things, that is vaccines and antibiotics. So we will quickly have a look at history of vaccines, what vaccines are, we'll learn about antibiotics, and we will also talk about the different kinds and their history. Yes, so what we're going to do is we are going to take a quick walk through the Hall of Fame, right? And here, as you can see behind me, we have various eminent scientists. And these scientists have had such an important contribution to this field of microbiology. Now, microbiology is nothing but a field that deals with the study of microorganisms. And they've done so much for us that we are able to do a lot today. And I'm sure you must all be wondering, right? Where did it start? Where did it all start from? This whole concept of vaccines, right? Because in the recent past, especially due to the onset of pandemic and all of that, the term vaccine was something that we constantly kept hearing about, right? So I am sure that it's something that you constantly hear about, vaccine doses and all of that. Yes, smallpox vaccine. Not a problem, Shruti, not a problem if you've just joined, right? All right, I can see Papya is asking about what are diseases. So Papya, we'll actually be covering diseases only next week where we talk about some harmful diseases. But today we are still going to be talking about the good microbes that are there. Very good, Sonali, very good. Yes, we've been hearing this a lot, right? We've been hearing the term vaccine a lot. So what is the history behind these vaccines? Yes, Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine for smallpox. But how many of you know how exactly he was able to do that? Any of you are aware about how he was able to, talk about it? Yes, Ritika, all are famous because all of them have equally contributed to it, right? Yes, Simran, I'm right here, not to worry, right? A lot of you have heard about the story about vaccines, but some of you have not even heard what vaccines are. Some of you do not know about it, right? So I'm going to quickly take you a little back through the history. Now, of course, we are here in 2022 where we have so many facilities. And trust me, right now, the kind of facilities and technology that we have makes it easy for us to do a lot of research, do a lot of dwelling things. And yet, a lot of people will still say that, we are still at the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that we can do and learn about. But I'm going to take you back in history. around the 1700s. And during this time, people were still slowly getting exposed to a lot of things, right? There were so many outbreaks of diseases, right? And we saw that there were, so many things that were going on. And one such disease was caused by a certain virus, and it was the smallpox disease. And this smallpox was spreading across various countries. It started off from Africa, went to Asia, hit Europe, Middle East, and so on, right? So we see that the smallpox virus was infecting a large number of people, and the doctors and the scientists, they were all trying to figure out, okay, what is exactly going on, right? So that is what they were trying to figure out. And what happened around this time was that Edward Jenner, right? Like how a lot of you have told me. Yes, Edward Jenner actually heard a rumor that out in the fields there are some dairy maids, right? So dairy maids, or we can simply call them as milkmaids also. Yes, so they were mainly dealing with cattle, right? So they were women who dealt with cattle. And he heard that there were some women who are not getting infected by the smallpox virus. They will never get smallpox, right? It is not like corona, but it is slightly different, right? It would be, if I have to give you a very vague analogy, right? It's like chickenpox, how you get these rashes and, pustules is what we call them, how it will come on the body, right? So that is what we mean by it. And we see that these guys were not getting it. So he was like, okay, that's very interesting. How is it that so much of the population are falling sick and susceptible to this disease, but these guys have somehow managed to escape? So he decided to pay a visit to these people and figure out what was going on. And when he spoke to one such maid, right, and her name was Sarah. So, of course, this is very important in the history of it, so I'm just mentioning it. He spoke to one such milkmaid, Sarah, and he asked her, hey, you know what exactly happened? How are you not falling sick? So then she shared a very important information that she was down with cowpox. Now, cowpox disease that is there is something which affects the cows, right? And because she was closely working with the cows, she also contracted them. But as a result, she realized that, hey, I'm not falling sick for smallpox, right? Yes, all right. Is it a spreadable disease? Tia, are you talking about cowpox or smallpox? Yes? Just want to get that right. So now very quickly to wind up the story, he decided that, okay, let me do some testing. And what he did was, from the lesions and the pustules that were there, he took some of it, he made some preparation, did a lot of chemicals and mixed it up, and he created a biological preparation. So I am going to stick to this fact that he made a biological preparation that included some cowpox virus in it, right? For those of you who are sending me messages that I'm ignoring you, I'm not. I'm just focusing on the history of vaccines. So let's stay focused in the class, right? So he mixed it up and he gave an injection to a boy named James, and he was just 8 years old. But interestingly, over a period of time, he never contracted smallpox, right? Yes, very good, Harsimran. He tested on a young boy, right? So in this case, if you see, he was able to figure out that with the help of cowpox viruses, he was able to develop a cure for smallpox. And that's how he created the first vaccine. And he was with this, throughout an ongoing process, they were able to eradicate, which means they were completely able to get rid of smallpox as a disease. Yes, biological preparation means vaccine. Very good, Shruti, very good. So it's a biological preparation, and yes, it's a very vague word, but there's some more that you need to fill up. Not a problem, Ahmad, not a problem. Yashasvi, if you're asking about communicable, are you asking about smallpox or cowpox? Yes. All right. Okay, I'm very sorry about that, Chahat. Very sorry about that. Yes. Not an issue. Are we clear with the history of vaccines? Any of you have any doubts so far? Because it's very important that you understand this part. Why did they call it smallpox? That's a very interesting question, Pratibha. Yes, so I think it would be a lot of, I don't know the exact reason why it is called smallpox, but probably because of the kind of disease and how the, pustules and all of that appeared, maybe probably because of that. Right, but I'm not very sure. You can check it out too. Yes, quick recap. So earlier in the late 1700s, there was a disease known as smallpox, which was affecting a large population. What happened? they figured out that there were some dairy maids who were not falling sick to that. And they figured out that these maids were exposed to a cowpox disease. And Edward Jenner decided to pay a visit to them, figure out what was going on, and then he took some of the pustules, he made a biological preparation, injected it on a young 8-year-old boy, figured out that with the help of cowpox virus, he was able to tackle smallpox. Yes? All right. Are we clear? Ahmed has learned this in 4th standard. That is amazing, Ahmed. Amazing. Are we clear with this part? What was the name of the young boy? He was called as James Phipps. Phipps. Yes, all right. Okay. Yes, 2x speed. I went little faster because we have so much more to talk about, right? All right. Okay. So now, of course, vaccines, like how a lot of you have told me, yes, vaccines can be defined as biological preparations because we are using living organisms here that include dead or weakened microbes, and when they are introduced into the body, they will help us develop immunity. Now, what do I mean by immunity? It is nothing but resistance against a certain disease. Now, this is very, very important to understand. This lays your fundamentals in understanding it, right? Cowpox disease is bad or good? Now, cowpox disease was affecting humans mildly because it was mainly affecting the cows, right? So that's why we call it as cowpox. So that way for the cows, yes, it's bad, but for us, it affects us mildly, right? Substance that is used to stimulate production of antibodies and provide immunity. Wonderful, Akanksha, wonderful. Yes, dead microbes, right? With the help of technology and science, we are able to either kill the microbes or weaken them. So let's understand, right? I'm sure all of you must be wondering, right? So how is it that we are able to just introduce some microbes and our body is now suddenly healthy and, we are able to get it? Yes? All right, I will be explaining the whole mechanism behind it. Don't worry about it, Smriti. Not an issue at all. Are we ready for the science behind the vaccine? What exactly it does? Yes, are we ready? Yes, all right, very quickly. We got COVID-19 vaccine. Now, again, COVID-19 vaccine and all of it, again, I will tell you towards the end of it, right? But let's just focus on one thing. Yes, all right. So this part of it, I am going to go little slow because I feel like sometimes it can be a little tricky. So if you have any doubts, I'm going to be very slow, and at each step, let me know that you are able to follow, right? So it sometimes can get a little tricky. So I don't want it to be tricky for you guys. So normally when we talk about vaccines, right, we always think about injection. Yes. So I am sure that when you were young, at some point, we would have all got injections. That's something we all remember about, right? Yes, how many of you remember that? Very good, Pratibha has read it in BYJU'S Premium. Yes, Papia, your messages are visible. Yes, all right. We've all got injections. I've got injections as well. Who invented the vaccines? Whether it is Edward Jenner, we just discussed his history. Yes, it is too painful, I do understand. There's a small pressure that gets applied, but we get injections. But yes, for polio, normally it is given orally. So most often we see that vaccines are either injected into the body or it is provided orally. Yes, but what comes to our mind, of course, is injection. Now what happens is that inside this syringe that is there, we see that the vaccine preparation will be there. And once it is injected into the body of a person, we will see what happens. Now I told you that vaccines are, they are dead or weakened microbes. So what happens is that these dead and weakened microbes that are there, yes? So we see that these dead and weakened microbes will now enter into the body, right? So in this case, okay, let me stop here, Papia. I will answer that question towards the end if you don't mind, right? Because you're constantly posting it, I will take that answer towards the end, okay? So now here, as you can see, we see here that the dead or the weakened microbes will enter. Now, dead microbes, we know that they don't have any life, right? They're dead. But when we say weakened microbes, it means that these microbes are alive, but they're not strong enough to cause a disease in our body. Our body is 100 times stronger, right? So we see that when they enter into the body, our body has our own defense system, right? So just like how every country has an army protecting us, making sure that there are no invaders entering into the body, yes, so similarly our own body has a defense system. And we call this as the immune system. Now this is just some extra information I'm telling you. Don't get worried about the name, right? Yes, orally means through the mouth, right? Through the mouth. Yes, all right. It is called as the immune system. Now this immune system is made up, has so many different kinds of cells and all of that is there, and they all are warriors, right? They are our warriors. So what happens is that when these microbes enter into our body, no, these immune cells that are there, they'll come. So I told you, they're like police officers and like army men. So they will come and they will immediately rush wherever these microbes are, and they will be ready to fight them, right? But at the same time, right? So at the same time, apart from these fighters, I'm just going to call them as fighters for now. I'm not going to go into the technical bits of it. We also have some others who will be there, and they are the memory cells. Now these memory cells, as the name suggests, they'll give memory. So they will remember, right? Okay, I'm going to see what's going to happen now, right? So that's what they're going to do. Very good, Nikhat. WBCs, very good. Hi Arpita, welcome. I'm Aishwarya. We are talking about microorganisms, right? And we're learning about vaccines. So effectively what happens, we see that these guys will fight against these, harmful microbes that are there, and boom, that's it. They will get rid of it. But the reason why they are able to do this is because these fighters that are there produce something known as antibodies, right? So I'm sure you would have heard of this, right? Yes, all right, okay. So antibodies is a very important term, and these Y-shaped things that you see on our fighters are the antibodies that are there. Yes, are we clear? I hope that you're not having any doubt so far, because this is a very basic, tricky concept which I'm making it as simple as possible, right? Yes, all right. So here, as you can see, antibodies will be produced, not antibiotics. No, not antibiotic, antibody. Focus on the spelling, because I know this is the part where we get most confused most of the time. We have antibodies. Write this down, guys. Very, very important, right? So we have antibodies, which are nothing but Y-shaped chemical substances that are produced by the cells, right? And they will come, they'll clump up around it, and they will kill the pathogen. And these memory cells that are there will remember how the pathogen looks like, so that the next time, if this pathogen, right, and not even a weakened pathogen, but a very strong pathogen comes and enters into the body, yes, or a very strong disease-causing microbe enters into the body, these memory cells will remember, produce our antibodies, and they will get rid of it, right? Get rid of it like this. What is plasma? Plasma is the fluid part of the blood that is there. Yes, antibodies and antibiotics are almost the same, but they are not, right? Only spelling-wise, they are the same. And this is one kind of vaccine that is there, which is made up of dead and weakened microbes. But not to get confused with, say, with other vaccines, because there are various kinds of vaccines as well. And in case if you want to know more about different types of vaccines, do let us know in the comment section so that we can talk about it in the later sessions, right? Yes, pathogens are harmful microbes. Yes. Hi, Smriti, welcome. Yes, all right. ZB is also here. So this is about vaccines and how they work. Are we clear with this, guys? Very quickly, show me, I want a show of hands which tells me that we are good to go. Raise of hands in the chat very quickly. Yes? All right. Hi, Shishmita. Hi, Devendra. Yes. Hello. A little army. Yes, we have a little army in our body itself. Can you believe that? All right. Amazing, guys. Amazing. Yes, very good. I want the more enthusiasm in the chat, right? More enthusiasm. Yes, all right. That's amazing, Ahmad. Amazing. Hi, Vanish. Hello, welcome. Good evening to all of you who have just joined the class. Hi, Urvashi. Yes. All right. So now these are some quick examples of vaccines, right? So we have vaccines for hepatitis, tuberculosis, tetanus, and polio. And these are some examples of organisms that are used, but you don't need to worry about it. This is just some extra information, that's it. So very quick question before I go ahead. Which of the following diseases do you think has been completely eradicated? Which means they are no longer there in the world through vaccination or by using vaccines, right? So is it poliomyelitis, that is nothing but polio? Is it chickenpox, smallpox, or tuberculosis? Very quickly. No, Chahat, we are still not getting to diseases. I'm very sorry about that. We will be talking so much about diseases. As a matter of fact, talking about diseases and diseases as a topic is so interesting that it's one of the favorite topics that I have. Very good, guys. Very good. The correct answer here is smallpox. Brilliantly done. And quickly tell me who was the first who discovered vaccines. Who was the scientist who played a key role in it? Again, plasma is the fluid or the liquid part of the blood. Can you all tell me? Yes, all right. Who was the scientist who came up with it? Very good, Gungun. Very good, Smita. Yes, Edward Jenner. Right? Yes, amazing. So, Nitesh, Louis Pasteur was responsible for doing fermentation, right? Oops, I forgot about that. ZB, I have already answered the question that what is plasma, so we will be moving forward. Now, before I go ahead, sometimes we would have noticed this, right? Maybe someone in our homes, or maybe you would have seen it with your friends, right? You'd see that sometimes they would not be feeling well, right? So they'll be feeling sick and tired, and sometimes we may ask the doctor to come over, right? And the doctor will get tested, he will check everything, he will go through a thorough look at it, right? So in this case, have you noticed how after the doctor does a check, right? He will do something. What is the last thing he does? Can you tell me? Can you take a quick recall? What is the last thing a doctor would do? Yes? Papia, what if vaccines like this could? So, especially again, that's why I told you that there are various types of vaccines. We just discussed one kind of it and I didn't even get to the details of it. But if you want to know more on the different types of vaccines, let me know, Papia, in the comment section. We will definitely, do a session on that. Right. Yes. Very good, Ritika. He will check pulse, okay, he will give medicines. Yes, that is what I was looking for. He will write in his prescription sheet, right? He will have a sheet where his name will be there and he will suggest some medicines, right? And that is when he will tell, take this particular antibiotic some 3 times a day. So he will tell, you should take it 3 times a day, and then he'll tell 1 in the morning and 1 in the night, and he will write like this, no? How many of you have seen this? Yes, Papia, thank you so much for requesting it. We will definitely take it up in the future. How many of you have seen it? He will tell 3 times a day. Have you ever seen this? Yes? Yes, Ritika says that she has seen it. Yes, Pratibha is also there. I can see a lot of you have told me that you have seen this. Amazing. Not understanding handwriting, Sneha. It's just saying, it's just giving an example of a medicine here, right? So it's just telling that there is a medicine, right? Okay, RX, that is just the name of the doctor, that's all. There's nothing much on that. Also, they'll put 3 ticks. Yeah, practically seen this. Yes. All right. Okay. So now this is what happens. And he will say that this is an antibiotic. But what is an antibiotic and where is all these antibiotics coming from? Now, antibiotics, right, is a very, very interesting one. Because if you literally break it down, no? Anti means against and biotic, bios means life. So antibiotics are chemical substances which are against life. What do we mean by that? That they are against life. What do we mean by this? Yes? So here it means that antibiotics are chemical substances that have the ability to either kill or they will stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms, right? Yes, very good, Atul, very good. Yes, very good, Papia. They will not act on viruses. You guys are all 2-3 steps ahead of me already. That's so brilliant, right? Yes, very good. Antibiotics are medicines, or Akanksha, let's say that they are chemical substances, right? So here we see that they are prepared from other microorganisms, right? So we get it from other microbes, sometimes some fungi, or maybe from some bacteria, like how all of you are telling me, right? And we see that they will kill or they will stop the growth, yes, and they will get rid of it. And sometimes what happens, no? You must be thinking now, ma'am, we have a defense system, right? They have the ability to kill all these microorganisms. Then why are we taking antibiotics? Have any of you wondered this? Anyone here has wondered, why are we taking medicines if our body has our own, defense system that can fight all this, right? Anybody wondered that? No problem, Ayush, no problem. You can go back and watch the rest of it, right? But we're talking about antibiotics. Yes, very good. It's a very valid question. Because trust me, even I thought about it when I was learning about immune systems, right? Yes, very good, Ritika. For very good, Amartya. For extra help, right? So a lot of times when, certain individuals, when we don't eat right, yes? So yes, Aparjita, please tell me what is the answer, right? But I'm going to constantly keep talking about it as well. So in this case, as you can see, sometimes when we, our body needs to be strong, right? And normally we keep our body strong by eating the right kind of food, making sure that we eat good amount of fruits, vegetables, and the necessary proteins, right? So in this case, if you see, what you need to do, right, is that sometimes if individuals, I'm not saying you guys, but if individuals don't eat right, our body will not be as strong as it should be, right? And if our body is not strong enough, if these harmful disease-causing microbes come into our body, then it may affect it, right? It will not be able to fight with full vigor, which is why we need help. Yes, we need help, and that's where these antibiotics come. So these antibiotics, what they will do, they will get rid of some of it, and it makes it easier for our body to fight, which is why constantly we stress, we as teachers, your family members, we all tell you to eat right and keep yourself healthy, right? So this is extremely important. So now, of course, some examples of antibiotics include tetracycline, amoxicillin, streptomycin. Very fancy words, but a simple example you can tell us is penicillin. Yes, and penicillin was discovered by Dr. Alexander Fleming in 1928, right? Cephalosporin is also an antibiotic. Yes, very good. So now, any of you know how he discovered the antibiotics? Any of you know? Ayush, it is okay, not a problem. In case if you're not able to come for the live, don't worry about it. You can always come back and watch it, right? You can watch it and take important notes. Don't ever feel disheartened about it because you have school. Because yes, you do have school and you have a lot of other things. Yes, very good, Chahat. Penicillin and penicillium are different. Penicillin is the antibiotic. Penicillium is the organism. Yes, whoever, I can see a lot of you know about it. Very good. Some of you are not aware about it. So I will tell you. So Alexander Fleming was again a scientist and he was growing some bacteria. So specifically, if I have to give the name of the bacteria, because I think some of you may ask me for it, it is called as Staphylococcus. So don't worry about the name, I'm just letting you know. It's called as Staphylococcus bacteria and he was growing it in these plates. Now what happened was that some other organism started to grow on this. And it was not a bacteria, but it was a fungi. And yes, it was a matter of chance that he discovered this antibiotic because he saw that this fungi was affecting the growth of the bacteria and it was killing it, right? So here, as you can see, he saw that that's so interesting, right? I mean, I was growing bacteria, some other microorganism is growing and it is not letting my bacteria grow. I should know more about it. And this accidental discovery, or this fungi that was growing was Penicillium notatum. Very good, Anika, very good. It was Penicillium notatum and the chemical that was getting released was killing it. It was not allowing it to grow. What is the name of it again? It is Staphylococcus, right? So it is Staphylococcus bacteria. Don't worry about the name, it's okay. You can write it down, but don't worry about it. Yes? So as you can see, he accidentally discovered it and this paved the way, right? This paved the way for more such discoveries to happen. Why do scientific names sound like a magic spell? That's such an interesting one, Amartya. Yes, they do actually sound like that. Right. Actually, the more you keep looking at scientific names, they're all very interesting. But now, of course, we use antibiotics regularly, right? I mean, there are so many antibiotics now which are available, but there are some precautions that must be taken care of while using antibiotics. Because when we consume antibiotics, there are two things to keep in mind, right? It should be consumed only when prescribed by the doctor, and the course must always be completed. So if it is for 5 days, then we must consume it for 5 days as per how the doctor has mentioned. Because let's say that, an individual is, have eating antibiotics, and in 3 days he's like, yay, I feel good. Then what will happen is that in 3 days, if he's not continuing with it, what will happen is that disease causing microbe, right? They're very smart. You have no idea. What they do is they have the ability to figure out how to overcome or how to change themselves, how to modify themselves so that they can, overcome the kind of antibiotic that is killing them. And eventually what would happen is that these antibiotics later on, if you eat for the same disease causing microbe or for the same disease, they will be ineffective, right? So it is important that you need to be careful about it. But similarly, if you eat it for 7 days, when you eat more of it, we know that our body has good microbes, no? It will get rid of these good microbes as well. So it's again very important that we complete the course, and of course probiotics must be taken regularly to improve the gut health, and of course it must be taken on schedule and always stay hydrated. I know, right, Smita? They are so clever. They are extremely clever. So this is why we must always complete the course of antibiotics and not take them without prescription. Yes? All right. We can build infinity name using alphabet. So why do they have fancy names? I do not actually have an answer for that. It's just how there are various things about scientific naming as well. It's Latinized, which is why we see that. What are antibodies? Antibodies are Y-shaped chemical substances which are produced inside our body, while antibiotics are chemical substances produced by other microorganisms. Are we clear? We are not clear about gut. So in our gut, that means in our digestive tract, especially, we see that there are microorganisms, good microorganisms that are there, which do various processes. And part of it is to fight against some of these disease-causing microbes also. But if you eat too much of these antibiotics, they will go and kill those microbes as well, right? So we shouldn't take too much as well. Okay, all right. Are we clear now? Are we clear? I have explained gut microbes and I hope I've taken most of your questions. Yes. Anushri, what are prokaryotic and eukaryotic? So this comes with cell, right? So prokaryotic are primitive cells which do not have a well-defined nucleus. Eukaryotic has well-defined nucleus. Yes? All right. Okay. We are clear? So very quickly, I have a question for you. Who discovered an antibiotic? This should be easy peasy. Edward Jenner, Alexander Fleming, Louis Pasteur, or Robert Hooke? Very quickly, guys, let me know in the chat. Yes, all right. So JP, you can go back and have a look at the explanation because we're running short of time. Very sorry about that. Yes? All right. Amazing. I can see the answer here. The answer here is Alexander Fleming. Don't get confused with Edward Jenner. He discovered vaccine. Alexander Fleming was the one who discovered the antibiotic, that too accidentally. So here, of course, with this, we come to the end of today's class. We spoke about vaccines, what they are, how they are produced, and how they, help us out. We also spoke about antibiotics, how they are produced, and how Alexander Fleming discovered this. Right? And of course, today's class, the thing is, it was just two simple topics, but we went into great details of it, right? So that we understand it very clearly. And here I have a quick homework question for all of you today, where what are antibiotics and what precautions must be taken while consuming antibiotics? Yes? So you need to let me know in the comment section below, because I am coming live tomorrow, right, where we will wrap up the, all the beneficial microbes and talk about their role in the environment at 6 p.m. Yes? So, of course, very quickly, just in case if you want to check the homework question, just go back and you can scroll back and it'll be there for you. And you know that BYJU'S classes is there for you, where you can schedule your classes as per your time and availability. You can check out some of the packs wherein, in case if you want to take up the, you know, the special pack that is there here, you can take that up, wherein you can get 1 month of classes along with some premium videos as well in the app, right? Did you all like today's class? Yes, I want you all to very honestly tell me. I can see a lot of you are saying amazing session. That's also because you are all very enthusiastic about learning all of this as well. So you know that we have got you covered no matter what, right? And if you like this video, make sure that you hit the like button, share it with your friends, tell them to come back, watch this, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button for notifications. There are some free trial classes that are there in the description box. Thank you so much for being a part of today's class. I hope that you like this. Yes, this is a very interesting chapter, and trust me, in the upcoming weeks, it is only going to get better and better. So stay tuned, come every day, watch it, and if you have any doubts, if you have any requests, anything, any suggestions, let us know in the comment section. Hoping to see you very, very soon again. Bye-bye and have a nice day.